My friend Bill called me up and said he's got some new potential. And man, that's all I need to hear.
You're gonna like it.
Let's tour the manor. Getting on Bill's gator is like a magic carpet ride. You never know what's gonna be on the end of that rainbow. You're always taking me around the new corner of the property, man. I don't know who you're hiding these things from, but...
There's a project for you, Mr. Russell.
Oh, now we're talking. That thing is sweet. Today's project is brought to you by the color green. That's a real live Willys Jeep. That thing is cool.
Yeah, I loved it too. I knew you'd be excited.
I gotta say, that's an army Jeep right there. I can dig it.
We might get old, but we don't grow up.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. All of a sudden, I'm like, this is like a Tonka toy.
Yeah.
That's not a fiberglass one.
No, sir.
Nice.
That's a 1946 all steel.
Still look like a goon sitting in this thing. I didn't realize they were so tiny.
You look good in there.
I feel good. I've always held an admiration for these things, but I don't know anything about them. I mean, most of these I think have been messed around with. This looks like it was just like kept.
Yeah.
Does it work?
It does. The story was that this guy towed it behind his motorhome. It had sat for 6 years. We put a battery in it and some fresh fuel, fired right up.
They don't make them like they used to.
No.
I mean, you're the king of the campground. You pull in with this thing behind your RV.
Very little rust. Original 4-cylinder, flathead.
This engine is tiny, man. It's like a lunchbox.
45 whole horsepower.
Oh yeah, these things were speed machines for sure.
I understand 2 guys can lift it.
When you opened this hood in 1947, this is what you saw. Albeit a little bit cleaner, but it's so interesting that nobody ever messed with it. I wouldn't have been able to leave it alone all those years. Bill and I are going on and on about how we both love it so much. The question is, what do you want to do with it?
Well, I really got this for my grandson because I want to teach him like I've taught my kids to drive a stick shift.
Ah, 'cause I know he's been driving that gator around. That's been his since he first learned to steer, right?
Yes, he's good at it now, but he did crash it once.
I noticed that. That's bound to happen.
Yes.
That's what you get for driving in plastic vehicles. Okay, I feel you. So that's automatic transmission. And
Right. This is the next step.
level.
It's more vehicle than that is.
Bill's grandson Lincoln has pretty much grown up around the projects that we've been doing. I think he's a chip off the old block.
Lincoln has big ideas, the eyes of a 12-year-old.
Heck yeah, I'm all about that. I'm happy to be a part of this. This is super cool. I gotta say, I've helped a lot of people with a lot of projects, and in the end, I think it's the fact that using your powers for good is what it's all about. This is exactly how I came to be the man I am, because certain dudes were like, oh, you have an interest? All right, I'm gonna support that by all means necessary. I missed all of this with my grandfather. Both of them were taken from me. I never had this experience. I'm getting to live vicariously through Lincoln now. I would have given anything to learn to drive on a Willys Jeep.
Doesn't get much better than this.
Well, I just want to know if I could drive it before he gets his hands on it.
You can, right now.
Heck yeah, I've never driven one of these. It's the first time for everything. Wow. So where's first on this, down?
Down.
No, this is cool. Not only is this a cool car with some serious flavor, but it's perfect for Lincoln. I know he's a Boy Scout and really into the outdoors, so hey, there's nothing better than a vintage Willys. I like what we're working with, 12-year-old mine and an 80-year-old vehicle. What could possibly go wrong? Another beautiful day in Mr. Bill's barn. Senor Lincoln's in the house, and we are ready to get to it. Oh, look who it is.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, Lincoln, what's happening? I love your Jeep, man.
I'm really excited because I've never driven a stick shift before.
Me too. And I took it up that hill in the back. This is an awesome Jeep. My favorite is this windshield, right? So when you're driving, that goes down, then that foot goes out there. Hand up, that's it. Now you're cruising.
It's a convertible now.
Yeah, exactly. Before we do any kind of transformation on this Willys, the key thing is Lincoln's gotta look cool driving it.
Do whatever you guys come up with. He's got ideas.
My mentality is about a 12-year-old level, so all the cars that I do look like toys, so whatever you're thinking, man, let's do it.
I like what you did to my grandpa's truck. I was thinking that we could try and chop the top.
It has no roof, man. That makes my job a lot easier. Here you go. Shazam! The chop is topped. The top is chopped.
The way I see it, if the roof were there, it would be like really tall.
I could see that, yeah. You know, at first I thought he was crazy, but I gotta admit, the kid's right. I never understood why this big panel was here. You're in this wide open vehicle and you kind of have a shield in front of your face.
Yeah.
I feel like all the old dudes looking at me when I'm explaining my ideas at 12 years old of all these fantasy go-karts and everything else, and they're like, yeah, kid, good luck with that. I've just never really worked with the thin air, you know? There's nothing to start with up there. It's the classic conundrum of trying to relate to the next generation. I'll show you a little of the old envisioning tricks. First, we're gonna take some of the leaves off. If you did have a top, like if you were to put a roof on it, yeah, that's really high up there. Never stifle a young creative mind, you know? As a young kid talking with these older dudes, they could have responded one of two ways, like, just do what I say, kid, right? Or being supportive, and that's exactly the role I'm taking up. Instead of me telling you what to do, let's figure out how to do what you're thinking should happen. Do you want to put a roof on it, or just still want a convertible?
I don't think it needs a roof. You don't get much rain here.
Tailoring this whole thing so Lincoln looks cool, right? Like it fits him, but he's gonna grow up, so I wanna be sure an adult fits in it as well. I can see what you're thinking, Lincoln. You're thinking right along my lines. Chop the top. I know that this Jeep's a real cherry, so if there's anything you wanna save, say it now or forever hold your peace. You know, Bill's take on customs is a bit different than mine. You know, he likes them to look kind of stock, but definitely unique. You know, once you take a closer look, you really see how much modification and work's gone into the project. He always provides the opportunity to stretch my legs with a different skill set.
Gonna be great, Lincoln.
We got a plan. Now let's get to it. We're gonna chop this roofless top. Well, why don't we start by taking this aluminum stuff off? We'll see what it's made of.
And see that side mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You can definitely improve on that. All right, those are started. Try to take them out. I'll work on the other side. It's a nice little change of pace, you know? Instead of being with the old grizzled, been there, done that car guy, we got bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Spirited young man.
All right, I got all the screws out. What should I do with these?
Sweet. Take that thing and throw it out in the driveway as far as you can.
It already looks better.
It lowered this. See, hop in now, check it out.
Ian, can you get your magical broom of viewing?
Prepare for magical broom of viewing. Oh yeah, it does look way better. I mean, that took the windshield down 1.5 inches. Do you want to go further than that?
Yeah.
Kid after my own heart. This is gonna be awesome. Enough with the screwdrivers, let's get into some fabrication. Have you ever taken a windshield out before?
No, I haven't.
Here, this is the windshield removal tool. I'm gonna let you handle that. Take it out. Strong work, natural ability. What are you doing here, man? This is a mess. That's not how you take out a windshield.
Well, you were the one who handed me the sledgehammer.
Hey, don't follow my bad advice. I'm like the crazy fun uncle, you know? I show up just before bedtime with a box full of candy, you know, really get the party started, and then I'm out. Easiest windshield removal ever. Let's take off some of this paint and see what's going on in here. Any last words?
Try not to mess up.
Spoken like a true pro. I couldn't have said it better myself. Even though it looks really clean, you never know what's lurking beneath the shiny veneer. We need to cut this and weld it back together. Hopefully it's all good. Now we can look into the depths of the mystery. So it's a good thing it's not too rusty.
That's not too rusty?
Oh, no way. That's just dirty. That's not rusty at all. Not compared to the world I live in.
Well, Ian, I don't know about you, but I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat lunch now.
Man, this union organization is really changing things around here. All right, I'll be over here just cleaning paint. It's pretty interesting for a kid who just smashed apart a window and now I'm cutting on his Jeep. He seems pretty relaxed. How's that burrito treating you?
Good.
Good call, man. You got plenty of windshield now.
Yep.
It's as if nothing was in the way.
Yeah, I think this is good.
You sure? You sure you don't want to do something a little more creative? I mean, what about You know, what about a little asymmetry? How about a little something like that?
I kind of like that, I have to
It's
admit.
got a little bit of the gangster lean.
Could you possibly do the same angle with this bar?
You know, the freedom of the 12-year-old mind is what I've been striving for my entire career. Anything goes. Wild ideas, as long as they look convincing, it's gonna be okay. You got a natural talent for this design thing. I like it. As creative as that looks, I don't know if Grandpa's gonna go for that. We gotta make him proud after all, right? I liked your idea in the first place.
Yeah.
This is a pretty solid look. How would you feel about taking 2 inches out and just taking a look at it?
I'm thinking about a 3.
I like your style. We're getting along good. Already I could see that Lincoln and I just may really be able to get into some stuff. How about we chop it too, take a look. You know, small steps. That way we don't have to go backwards. As simple as this procedure appears to be, I'm thinking it all the way through. I want to perform the modification and make it look seamless in the end. There's something about the cadence of my voice, the way that I work, puts the client at ease every time. Maybe a bit too much. The last thing is to save the name. Put that Willys right back in. What you think about that?
That looks perfect.
Full custom fit.
Feels right.
It's gonna take a little while for me to finish that welding, but that's the look, like the proportions. I mean, you look like you should be sitting in there. That's perfect. You said chop top. I saw no top, but we're on the way. I gotta say, there's a first time for everything, and the roofless chop top, it works. I got that windshield all set as per Senor Lincoln's request. Just threw a little primer on it. I think this being tucked down like it is way better. Lincoln's away on a scouting adventure, so I took it upon myself to finish all the welding on this thing. And I know this roll bar is out of proportion too, so I got a couple ideas to bring it all together. The roll bar in this Jeep is not suited for any kind of serious wheeling, you know, by today's standards, but it will provide some protection in a rollover. We're trying to do something that's at least as strong as the original. Yeah, perfect. First step is to get the mounting brackets in place and then build the roll bar to fit. Seeing Lincoln getting all excited about driving stick shift, he reminded me of myself when I was just a lad. Anything that had an engine, I just had a way of getting involved with it. I remember we were visiting some family friends. All the parents were having their conversation. I was wandering around the yard and there was the garden tractor. Came driving around, everybody's like, what are you doing? It's like, driving the tractor. So that's gonna be the mounting pads to start. All those years of doing the manual bender. You know, getting a little spoiled with all these deluxe tools is a nice thing, but you always gotta keep it balanced. You know, 1 foot in the future, 1 foot in the junkyard. All right, looks good. Definitely too tall. If we're just trying to make it look a little bit cooler, would the roll bar have a little tilt back to it? Would it be completely square? I think visually. Like, might look a little bit cooler like that. Placement is everything. A wise man once said, don't look right, cut about a fistful off of it. All right, I think now we're more in the ballpark. Looking at the windshield and the hoop are parallel. Like looking at the rope on it, it's like that would be the top profile if it had a soft top or something. So it's a cool look, you know, it comes back like a fastback and then it's up and then it's down into the windshield. What I've noticed with roll cages is if you look at the stock one that was on this Jeep, it's just very utilitarian. And I'm looking for something that might give it that line of a new roof. Looking at it from the front, from the back, it's like, oh, if this bar intersects the hoop at a certain angle, it looks like it would naturally flow right into the windshield pillars. So it looks like this is going right into the windshield from the back. This Jeep isn't intended to be a super bad rock crawler. It's also not intended to be that mild grocery getter. It's all about Lincoln. It's unique to him, his development, and his future adventures. It's gotta fit the bill. I think we got this top wrangled into shape, but there's a whole lot more front, back, side-to-side action that needs to happen before this project's a wrap. Just like his grandpa, here comes the boss, rolling up on 4 wheels. Check this out. Got a little progress on the old Jeep.
Yeah, the new roll bar looks really great.
A little different style than the other one, huh? You know, it's something you could grab onto for sure if you want to hop in. I like that he's pleased with the progress. Him sitting in there really seals the deal. I'm glad we did not end up with a crooked windshield. All about artistic freedom, but I'm also about not being too weird. Sometimes it's tough. Well, one thing that's been bugging me since I saw the Jeep was this front.
Yeah.
You know, this thing looks like a big weird thing on the front of this awesome looking Jeep.
Like a unicorn horn.
Yeah, it is like a unicorn horn.
Yeah, let's get rid of this thing.
It's not as cool as breaking windows, but we could take it off with fire.
That's an option, then yes.
Oh, it's definitely an option. This is the Master Blaster. Every kid, including myself, loves fire, destruction. You know, it's part of our caveman DNA. And there goes the unicorn horn. It looks like this thing was crashed a whole bunch of times. Maybe we'll just torch this bumper right off and just see what it looks like underneath.
Imagine how cool it would look if we put Poppy's big green truck bumper on there.
We could totally do a custom bumper on this. Maybe that's what we should do, just make a complete custom bumper for this.
That would be a pretty good idea.
Let's go take a look.
Okay, and I'm driving.
Heck yeah. I think this Jeep warrants a gathering expedition, you know, to Bill's exclusive top lot. You're a natural. Onward. Nothing but the finest for this mean green project. Seniority has its privileges, you know. Now I'm getting chauffeured around to all the neighborhood's hottest junk spots. We got a nice Lincoln bumper. Get it?
What?
See what I did there? Lincoln bumper. There's a Lincoln over there.
Okay, I get it
Dad
now.
jokes. It's a tough crowd today. We got all these doors. We could put a dozen doors on that Jeep.
We can put some on the roof.
Yeah, we could make a limousine. Put 12 doors on that thing.
Yeah.
I think that Lincoln and I could get into a little bit of trouble parts gathering together. He's a lot more open-minded than most of my clients. I mean, literally anything that looks like it could be a cool bumper, we can use. What kind of pine cone machine is this thing? That's a lot of cones. Oh, look, here's a truck with no bumper. Man, that one would have been perfect. I think we pulled that off for a different project once. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and I could see that with young Lincoln. He's definitely got his grandfather's eyes.
Man, it'd be perfect if we could cut up one of these, but I don't want to because it's such a nice car.
You think this thing's nice?
Yeah?
So did your grandpa. It must run in the family. I had to talk to him about that truck. Yeah, you know, he's got stuff around every turn. There's one thing I know about your grandfather. He's got stuff. Looks like we've got some bumpers on hand.
Let's look at it.
Yeah, let's be on the lookout for any serpents. There's rattlesnakes all over the place back here. You go first.
Thanks, Ian.
You're the Boy Scout. You'll know what to do if I get bit. Ooh, these are pretty bent too. Oh, these are from the van. From that white Econoline van project.
Yeah, I really like that van.
I took them off because they were so dented.
I'm kind of interested about this one.
What the heck is that? Looks like that car's been in a crash. I have no idea what this kid is thinking. For some reason, Lincoln picks the most dented piece in the yard. I don't know. These aren't from this car, but these are from one of them. One of the 600 Falcons he has laying around. This one's kind of cool.
Well, I still prefer this grate.
All right, well, let's bring that grate. And my choice is these two bumpers, so let's just take a look. Lincoln marches to the beat of his own drum, and I can respect that. All hail the free thinkers. Some people question my motives too, so I'm just gonna let you roll with this. Let me show you around the property a little.
This is your first time driving the Gator, isn't it?
It's my first time actually driving. I can't let Lincoln have all the fun. I need to fulfill my need for speed as well. Whoa. So which one's the brake?
Nice job, Ian. Lines up.
All
And
right,
it's the
if
perfect
that's how you're
size.
feeling. It's got a little snowplow feel to it. More of a cheese grater.
That is a 5-star bumper.
All right, I'm not arguing with you, you know. As perfect, as correct as this grill may seem, We also have some other options. Oh man, now you're cruising.
It looks kind of like it's trying to show off. This is supposed to be an old army truck, right? We don't need to add like Cadillac bumpers on it.
That's right. I like the way you put that.
Well, I mean, we brought the van bumpers all the way over here. Why don't we just try them out?
Oh, thanks. Just give, like everybody gets a trophy now. It's one of those events. Look at that. True diamond in the rough. It's only 2 feet too wide.
Actually, I kind of do like that.
It's pretty mellow, right? I call this mission a success. We have a lot of options for any variables. Now it's time for the old slice and dice. I think we got some parts. I got some ideas. Let's make it happen. All right, Lincoln and I had our board meeting. We sat down and discussed all the options. We went from the cheese grater to the snow plow, to the Falcon bumper, to the Econoline bumper, back and forth. We've arrived at this. The plus is I really like the shape. It looks old-fashioned, you know, just this simple detail. The bad thing is it's pretty smashed and it's way too wide. Both of which I think I can remedy. This bumper swap not only gives us the opportunity to aesthetically improve the Jeep, but also improve the structure. It's the old double whammy. I'm gonna cap this. I'm gonna make this much stronger. I think it'll really make the spring work a lot better if we have a cross member in here. Well, that being said, leads us to our prior discussion. How do we put this bumper on there? I'd say that looks pretty much in the ballpark. So look at that hang. That's like the Econoline van was super wide compared to this little Jeep. Looks like I'm gonna wanna take about minimum of 19 inches out of this bumper. 19 inches. That's 1.5 feet plus an inch. That's a lot of material. I really want to get rid of this dent in here. That'll be an easy one to hammer flat, but if I can section this out of it, it's that much less fixing I gotta do. Just a little finessing, but you don't want it to be too pretty. If this was like a regular city car, you know, you'd want that bumper protecting the front, right? But this is a trail rig, there's nothing to protect. So really, you want that tire to hit something. You don't want that bumper hanging up on anything. Mini bumper. Now we're talking. See, it's just like a center guard. I think it's a good look, you know? It's got some style. It's got this utility look, but just classed up a little bit. It's like a urban look for a off-road Jeep. All right, let's clean it up, weld her back together. I gotta say, the Econoline bumpers were the perfect choice for this because they were there. Old subtle finesse Rousseau. That's 24.5 inches narrower than it was. Yeah, I like it. It doesn't say too much, you know? I think we got the front of this Jeep buttoned up. It looks good, but the back half is a whole different story. I think it's gonna need a lot of full custom.
Woo, look at that.
Doing a little work.
I love it.
Bill hasn't seen this Jeep in a while, and I see him responding to it. You know, the change in the front bumper, the subtle no-top roof chop, roll bar in the windshield. I think he's feeling it.
Oh, look at this. Yeah.
Yeah, I put that on there.
You don't miss a trick.
No.
Yeah, I love the rake on this. It's perfect.
Now with the roll cage, same vibe, just a little bit updated.
Very, very nice. Well, I got a surprise for you, Ian.
Show me something new. Oh, right on.
1945 and 46, one plate only in California because of the war.
Wow.
And this one, of course, has been all redone. And I thought, oh, Jeepy was worth it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this blue plate on a 1940s vehicle.
Yeah, awesome.
That's that.
Very cool.
So at the front of the Jeep, you know, I did a lot of torch cutting, and with the back, I'm gonna have to do the same thing. I'm gonna torch that trailer hitch right off and just make new brackets.
Okay, I was hoping, this was twofold in my mind. I wanted to teach Lincoln, teach him how to drive a stick shift.
Right.
And I'd love to teach him how to back a trailer. People do not know how to back a trailer.
Tell me about it.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely torch that one off because it's ugly, and I
Yeah.
got a couple ideas. Do something pretty trick.
Cool.
There's no time like the present. I got the parts, I got the plans, and Mr. Bill's gonna leave me to have at it. No matter what the project is, I'm always thinking about how to make it look as sleek and unitized as possible. First thing is to get rid of all this business hanging off the back. So what I really want to do is have this trailer hitch in here behind the license plate. You wouldn't even know it had a trailer hitch until you lifted the license plate. And if you didn't know that the license plate lifted, you wouldn't know it had a trailer hitch. Sneaky. I wanted to set up this trailer hitch in the center of the frame, you know, the strongest part. Instead of having the old hitch, how it hung down, it would put a lot of leverage on the frame. This is gonna be right there in the middle of it. Looks good from here. It's interesting the way that this Jeep was set up because you had your chassis and a few other support pieces. I was able to reconfigure every stock element and grab onto this new trailer hitch receiver, this tube pierced through the chassis. Once this goes in, you put your hand back here and the pin slides in. Next step, rear bumper. I want to get this bumper up as high as possible, and these taillights are starting to bug me already. The art of this is just bang on it until it looks less bad than it was. This bumper's pretty beat up, and fortunately, I don't have to make it fit that Ford van anymore. So I'm just gonna bang it into shape so that both sides match. Look at that, straight as an arrow. Whoosh. Oh, I like it. Yeah, getting that bumper up, it hides all that old business. I'm gonna cut a square at about those calculations. There has to be a shroud of mystery behind every operation. Plus, you know, straight lines, they ain't my thing. The way the tailgate can still swing a ding. We'll put a couple brackets on this baby, and then we can work on narrowing it. So in the front bumper, I went really narrow because we were discussing that scenario of maybe like coming up on a rock or something where you don't want the bumper to hit. But in the back, I don't think that's as important. I think this shape follows this curve of the fender pretty well. And I like how this comes right in, but I don't like how that's gonna hit. Anybody who's done this will tell you it's all in the details, right? When something looks like it belongs, it's agreeable to the eye. That Econoline bumper, the placement, the trailer hitch, I think it fits. Plenty strong for what this Jeep's gonna be doing. Before I go any further, I gotta patch some holes, you know, tidy up the rear a little bit. At least now when the bodywork goes into play, there's no welding. Last but not least is this special hinged license plate bracket. How could I forget? Trailer hitch, no trailer hitch. Piece of cake. Nice and clean. I like how this wide plate does fill up this whole bumper, as if it was made for an older thing. We are getting down the road on this Willys. Makes me wish I was 12 years old, all over again. Lincoln and Bill came by for a look at this project, and I showed them the super secret hidden hitch. And I gotta say, they were giddy.
Oh man, check that out. I mean, it looks like it was made for it. I guess it was.
I'm kind of relieved you didn't choose the cheese grater.
I did something with that cheese grater that I want to give you a gift. Since you liked it so much, I restored the whole thing.
How did you unbend all this?
That's what I'm saying.
It looks brand new now.
Yeah, I did a lot of work on that.
Oh.
No, actually, you know what I did?
What?
I went up to your grandpa's pile of stuff and I found another one. There, you could hang them both on the wall, side by side. What, like, are we here to talk cars or pull pranks? I vote pranks.
Well, we got to go through and get some lights, figure out what you want to do on painting, and then we'll have Ian come back and we'll go for a test ride.
I hope you have strobe lights.
Disco man.
I like your ideas, man. Your grandpa, he's Mr. Conservative. You want strobe lights, glitter, neon? I got a little something I'm working on too. I think if you're along that line of like party machine, you might like what I'm building.
I'm excited to see it.
Bill and Lincoln are gonna spend some grandpa-grandson quality time, you know, finish this Jeep up. In the meantime, I got a little project I've been thinking about for myself. All right, now the real fun begins. You know, Lincoln's got his ideas about being a grown-up, driving a stick shift, and I got my own ideas about being 11 years old again. This is none other than the RCF Micro Mini, the miniest of mini bikes. My friend Evan makes these. The engine's very powerful for this size machine. He even upholstered this cool seat and sent it over to me. I mean, the neat thing about this is they designed the handlebars for somebody that is about 6'2", right? But yeah, I mean, definitely has a charm, right? Like most of my projects, the first mock-up might seem a little loose. And I mean, it does look kind of comical at this point, but I think we're on the right path. You know, I have a tendency to build stuff that I have a hard time fitting in, and this really takes us to the extreme. The whole idea for this thing is I want something tiny I could just throw in the back of the truck, putt around the car show, you know? But I think Lincoln would get a kick out of it too. I mean, if I was 11 years old and I saw a pink seated Micro Mini, I'd be all over that thing. These bikes have the cool retro vibe, but for myself, I'm seeing something a little different. That's what I do. I'm a customizer, so I'm gonna do something to it, make it a little bit my own. About time I cut a mini bike. Whenever I start a motorcycle project, I tack it to the table first. That way everything is centered and secure. That's a pretty big rake. I guess it would steer. What do I know? It looks cool, right? Yes, it does. Instant chopper. All of a sudden it has attitude. Look at that. All of a sudden it's going 100 miles an hour. I think I want the tires sitting out like that. I'm not a huge chopper terminology guy, but I'm making these front fork flipper details. You know, they're unique to this sugar bear style front fork. That's what I want. I want a funky, those 70s stop chopper vibes. Shaped a little bit differently by the end of this, but I just want something to start with. I can dig it. I hope you can. So I need 2 brackets to hold this, and then the fork will just hoop up and over. There's a lot of different techniques to shape and cut metal. Think about the old-fashioned blacksmith with his coal-fired furnace. Never gets old. It's like a heavy metal fork. That's starting to look like a chopper, eh? Evan was kind enough to send 2 different fork sets with the project, and luckily for me, it's the exact material I need to finish off the front of this frame. I gotta say, these smaller projects are kind of fun, you know? I feel like an elf, a giant elf in Santa's workshop. You know, Honest Ian's micro mini bike customization factory. I think we're getting close. It needs some handlebars. All right, this is stash spot number 642, subsection C, box number 12. I had a bunch of motorcycle parts in here. This is what I was thinking. Got some handlebars, and I've got an exhaust pipe. Tip. That is like the baddest kid in middle school just showed up to the football field. That's mean. That's like cartoon kid stuff. Count me in. Definitely on the right path. This thing screams outlaw. I got a couple challenges to ruminate on with this thing. It looks good, but it just needs a couple other things. The next step will really seal the deal on this little micro machine. I got a couple more ideas for my micro mini chopper. It's almost ready to terrorize the desert streets. Similar to what I did with the front, I'm gonna add another solid rod element in the back to support the seat. Starting to look a little zigzaggy now. All right, now for the authentic envisioning process. It's Easy Rider, baby. I want it to be silly looking. You know, it's a mini bike, come on. Look at that, perfect fit. So that got me thinking, like the last piece of the puzzle is like the gas tank, right? And he made these awesome tanks. They originally were designed to go off the back like that, but I figured, hey, you know what? I want that thing front row and center. You know, rather than adding bulky hardware like you see with these clamps and the kit it came with, I think a much simpler design. Just one simple bracket and one threaded petcock to set it in place. That's actually the mounting point, you know, for whatever, the quart of gas you have in here. That way it's just like floating in the frame. That's pretty slick. I like it. Just silly enough. Oh, look at that fixture with the back. It's perfect. Just a nice little spring. One quick trim on the handlebars, and in rushes the cavalcade of naysayers. Come on, check it out. It's the coolest of the cool. Look at that floating tank. I gotta say, this is shaping up. This is just dude size. You could pick up a pair of goggles, some leather gloves, throw Lil on the back. He'd be the envy of all the dogs in the neighborhood. Hey! Hey! What? Didn't you see Pee-wee's Big Adventure? That's like a capital no-no. Oh man, mini bike down. Don't jump to conclusions yet. He's not the most coordinated inspector. You know, we don't know if his intentions were malicious or not. Look, here's the look of shame. Dude's not handing out any compliments. I mean, he's not saying nothing till this mini monster's complete and his fur is blowing in the wind. I don't know what's up with Mr. Blockhead over there, but got ourselves a chopper mini bike. Next step is a paint shop, then we ride. Made it back to Bill's to see the finale of this Jeep project. And I got a little something to show Lincoln as well. Hey, Lincoln.
Hey, Ian.
Man, this thing looks awesome.
I know, right?
Walking in the door, it looks like something I remember. It just looks a lot better than I remember also. Wow, this thing turned out crazy cool.
We did a bunch of work to it.
Yeah, it definitely looks a little bit fresher than when I left. I love how you kept the rims matching the paint on the bumper.
The favorite things I added was probably the winch.
Heck yeah, if you get into real trouble, you're able to pull yourself out of a ditch.
Yeah.
Tires are cool. They're like knobby motorcycle tires or something. They could have gone any way with the paint and finish on this thing, but what I really appreciated was color matching the rims to the bumpers. Just puts a clean look around the base of the thing. They painted the roll bar black, takes a little of the statement off of that, it puts it on the wheel tire combo. It's just a clean ride.
I'm super excited about the inside because we redid it all.
Oh, nice. Wow, yeah, no, this is all grungy and gross in here. New upholstery on the seats. This thing is clean, dude.
One of my other favorite parts is the tail lights back here. I really like them because they look kind of superhero-ish, you know?
Oh, heck yeah. It looks like a military badge or something. Lincoln's running through the process that they went through and telling me about, you know, oh, we painted this because I like it to look this way, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, yeah, dude, I think you made good choices all around. Pretty simple transformation, but if you park next to another military Jeep, you'll clearly see the difference. I didn't know what the kid was gonna come up with, so it could have gone any way, but I was pleasantly surprised.
I'm glad this worked.
You got your funky mirror back. So have you even driven this thing yet?
No, actually, I'm a little bit nervous. But
I'm a little nervous too.
I haven't even driven clutch before either, so.
Really, not yet?
No.
It's a shakedown run, man. It'll be the first of many in your life. What could possibly go wrong?
It'll probably be fine.
Just walking in and looking at this thing, I was like, man, this thing must be a really cool vehicle to drive, right? And he's like, yeah, not yet.
This is definitely my favorite one that I've seen you do.
Well, you haven't seen everything yet. You got to see what I've been working on at my shop. I got a little surprise for you. It might change your mind about this whole project. You might want to trade me.
Whoa!
Aha! The whole focus here is like Lincoln coming of age. He's growing up. He's gonna be a man someday and drive a stick shift. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of do the opposite, Lincoln. Check this out. I put this mini bike together with a quickness. And let me tell you, it's a handful. It's got way too much power and it's super loose driving it. It's exactly what I needed.
Now that is a chopper.
Mini chopper.
That's really cool.
I know you wanted to paint your Jeep pink and didn't do it, so I painted my project pink.
Wow, it looks really good.
At first, when I was building this, I was like, oh, it would be the perfect trade-off, right? Like I could drive Lincoln's Jeep around, he could mess around on my mini bike. As soon as I got on this thing, I'm like, whoa, this thing is not a toy, it's a weapon. You know, I'm heavy, and that thing wants to do a wheelie when I'm on it. It's pretty sketchy to ride.
I'm not crazy, I'm not riding this thing.
Let's hide this over here before your grandpa gets any ideas about this thing. Hey, hey.
Howdy.
Nice little project you got here. It's classy.
Yeah, it's been fun. He worked hard, and it shows. We had a great time.
That's one thing Bill explained to me from the start. The root of it is grandfather, grandson kind of project, right? You get to do it for the first time once in a lifetime, and I think they really got together well on it.
This thing was like hard to see out of. You had that much glass. You added all that glass. The stance is just perfect. My favorite is the hidden hitch.
Gotta love it.
I think it turned out great. What is that?
That's a chopper. Haven't you ever seen one? That's one thing I know about Bill. He's not really into the wild stuff, so he gives a second glance like, how'd that thing get in the shop, right?
Is this just a man with too much time on his hands? What are we gonna do with it?
Absolute nonsense. Mayhem. It has no real purpose on this earth. Hey, man, you gotta let me do a little bit of me sometimes. Come on.
That's great. Just great.
Old subtle Roussel just hung up his cap for good.
Yeah.
It's time to get back to the weird stuff.
Today's the day. This is his first day. We waited for you to come where you could be part of the driving experience.
Well, I know a little something about driving a Jeep. It's only natural, you know, Bill respects me in a certain way, so he's like, hey man, teach the kid how to drive stick shift, right? He ain't gonna do it himself. And you pull it back, and then you're in first gear. Putting on my proper adulting cap at this moment. I'm telling him, you know, this is what you gotta do, this is the way this functions, this is what happens in an emergency. So yeah, do as I say, not as I do.
This is great.
Lincoln doesn't seem to be too stressed. I remember my first time driving a stick shift and I was pretty nervous. I know what the potential is here. Swap it out. There comes a time when you can say all you want, but there's nothing to it but to do it. So I'm like, all right, kid, you saw how it works. Give it a try. You know what I always say on someone's first drive?
What?
Go that way.
Okay.
Really fast. As fast as you can, and if anything gets in your way, turn.
Okay.
Pay attention to Uncle Ian, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Look at that. You're a natural.
Bye.
Give it a little gas. Think you got this, man. Go right through that pine tree. Don't even be scared. Hey, I don't have any kids, right? So no problem if I lose this one. I'm just gonna have to turn the key and send it on down the lane.
He worked hard and he deserves that. That's great.
Bill's standing by, he's giving him the encouragement. He knows the kid's got it. Pretty much what this has all come down to. It's all you, kid. Make it happen. You sit in the seat for the first time, and it's like, whoa, this is my responsibility now, right? And I can see it. And he's thinking it through. He's taking his time.
Not that.
Stepping on the right pedal, he's moving his hand in the right direction. It looks good.
I thought I was supposed to drive away.
That's what I thought too, man. What's going on over there? Strike two.
Okay.
Hey, like they say, third strike you're out, or third time's the charm.
Okay, let's try it again.
I think he's got this.
Oh, what do you know? I made it.
Took right to that.
Yeah.
Bill's happy, Lincoln's super excited, and Uncle Ian has just made his first appearance as driving instructor. Today was a good day.
Ian, I don't know how to tell you how I appreciate what you did with the build. He thinks you're the best thing since sliced bread, so do I, but he's gonna have a heck of a good time because of you.
Totally stoked. Every project's got a little bit different challenge in it. You know, this one for me wasn't the heaviest fabrication, but you know, there's a lot of heart in this one. Lincoln and his grandpa built this Jeep together. That's a lifetime thing. I'm super proud to be a part of it. This whole thing with doing the Jeep and feeling a little bit mellow about it and going and doing this crazy over-the-top mini bike, I mean, that's the balance for me. That's the big takeaway. When life hands you Jeeps, make mini bikes. Set them up and knock them down. Project Jeep is complete.